Hey everybody, Brian Skeel here, composer and sound designer. I found a really cool way to make pianos sound otherworldly or underwater, and I wanted to kind of walk everybody through what I did to make that happen. So right here we have a performance in Cubase. You can do this in any DAW you like, but I'm using Cubase. We have here a piano performance using the Grandeur. The Grandeur is an instrument that you can use in Contact, which is the Native Instruments sampler. This is a great sounding piano. It has a very live and emotional kind of sound, so it just sounds really good. Here's the performance with nothing else, and then I'm going to walk you through how we're going to make this sound change to make it sound otherworldly. Here we go. Pretty basic stuff, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a series of pitch shifting techniques. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our sampler here, and right here is our tune knob. And we're going to drop this down 2 octaves, 24 semitones. And so now if we were to play this back, this would sound kind of messy, right? But we can start to hear some of the hollow characteristics come out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Midi Modifiers in Cubase, and this transpose section, we're going to raise it 24 semitones to match what's going on here in the sampler. So essentially, we're taking this performance and we're jacking it up 2 octaves. So now it's going to sound like this. So it's creating a lot of these very interesting artifacts that are happening due to pitch shifting one way and then the other. We don't have to stop there. What we can do now is we can go to our effects or our audio inserts, and we can start to play with reverb a little bit. I love using the little plate from Sound Toys, and we're going to start by using a low cut roll off, just because I don't want the low end to get super messy. We're going to dial back the mix a little bit. I want a little bit of that dry piano sound in there just for the attack. And let's start with the decay kind of where it is. I like this mod on because it gives some really cool characteristics to the reverb. So let's listen to it now. And we could probably even take the low cut and go a little higher, maybe to 200, just to get a little bit of that low end resonance from the actual piano out of there. So that's one way to get a really cool, otherworldly sound for a piano. I'm going to show you one more technique, and that's going to involve actual pitch shifting plugins. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back to our Midi modifiers, and we're going to bring the transpose back to 0. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go to our audio inserts, and before the plate, we're going to put in a pitch shifter in place of the transposition. And what that's going to do is it's going to create some very interesting artifacts. I love using the sound shifter from Waves, just because it's very easy to use. The only thing about this, though, is this will only let us use 12 semitones, so we have to duplicate this in order to reach the 24 semitone range of the sampler. So now, here's what we have. So there's a couple more things we can do. I'm going to pull the little plate down a little bit, and I'm going to start with an EQ and get rid of some of that top end just because it's a little bit messy. I'm going to get rid of a lot of top end and probably a bit of the low end as well. And we're going to do this before the reverb. And if I wanted to play a little bit more, we would use some kind of harmonization plugin like the Crystallizer from Sound Toys. I love this plugin. Let's clean up our working space a little bit. And we can start to do things like echo pitch, dark climbing echo. Let's see what that does. So that's how I like to create brand new sounds out of sounds that I've had for years and years and years. You don't have to use this with a piano. You can use guitars, you can use harps. I'd love to hear what this sounds like with drums. I might do a follow-up video kind of exploring that territory. If this video inspires you to make a new sound, I would love to hear it. Just go to brianskeel.com, go to the contact section, and send me a link. I would love to hear what you're working on. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. I hope to be doing a lot more of these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and happy composing.